I've learned a truth that's become a guiding force in my life. Nothing truly meaningful, nothing truly worthwhile, comes without taking risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela once said, "There is no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." Let that sink in. You've come this far. You've gone through school, chosen majors, considered careers, and in the process, many of you were probably told something. Like this: make sure you have a backup plan. Have something to fall back on, just in case. But I've never really understood that advice. Why would I want to fall back on anything? If I'm going to fall, then let me fall forward. At least that way, I'll see what I'm going to hit. Because without consistency, without dedication, you'll never cross the finish line. So pursue what excites you. Follow what stirs your heart. Do what you are passionate about. Take bold steps. Don't shrink in fear. Take risks even when you're uncertain, especially when you're uncertain. There's an old intelligence test, you've probably heard of it. 9 dots on a paper. The goal? Connect all the dots using just 5 lines without lifting your pencil. And the only way to solve it? You have to think outside the box. And so I tell you, don't fear going beyond boundaries. Don't be afraid to think differently. Don't be afraid to fail. And certainly, don't be afraid to dream big. But here's something you must always remember. Dreams without goals are just dreams. They'll remain distant and unreal. You must anchor your dreams with discipline, with clarity, and with purpose. Let me give you a real-life example. Reggie Jackson, one of the greatest baseball players in history, struck out more than 2,600 times, more than any other player. But what do people remember? The home runs? No. One talks about the strikeouts. Fall forward. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before he finally created the light bulb. Did you know that? Probably not, because history remembers the result, not the rejections, not the sleepless nights, not the failures. Fall forward. Every failed attempt moves you one step closer to that breakthrough. You've probably heard people say, take risks. But today I want to explain why that matters so much. Because you will fail. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You'll mess up. You'll lose. You'll stumble. You'll get embarrassed. You'll fail at things you thought you were good at. And you know what? That's okay. In fact, it's necessary. In the acting world, failure is a constant companion. Early in my career, I auditioned for a Broadway musical. I thought it was a perfect role, except for one tiny issue. I couldn't sing. Needless to say, I didn't get the part, but I didn't give up. I didn't shrink away. I didn't fall back. I got up. I walked out of that audition room and got ready for the next one. And then the next. And the next. I prayed. I worked. And yes, I kept failing. But I kept showing up. There's an old saying. If you hang around the barber shop long enough, eventually you're going to get a haircut. Eventually I got a break. Years later, I starred in a Broadway play called Fences. And here's the twist. It was staged at the very same theater where I had failed my first audition 30 years earlier. Life came full circle. So here. You've got the education, you've got the talent, but the real question is, do you have the guts to fail? Because if you're not failing, you're not even trying. I'll say it again. If you're not failing, you're not even trying. To get something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. Now, I want you to imagine this. You're lying on your deathbed, and standing around you are the ghosts of your untapped potential, the dreams you never chased, the talents you never used, the opportunities you let pass you by. And they're looking at you, angry, frustrated, disappointed. They say, "We came to you. Only you could have brought us to life, and now we have to die with you." So I ask you, when your time comes, how many ghosts will be standing around your bed? recently returned from South Africa. It's a place of stunning beauty, but it's also a place where people are in real need. Poverty, disease, desperation. And it's not just South Africa. The Middle East needs help. Japan needs help. Alabama needs help. Tennessee, Louisiana, Philadelphia. This world, your world, is calling out. And who will answer? You. We need you, not just as professionals, not just as citizens. We need you as leaders, as healers, as visionaries, as change makers. We need your energy, your creativity, your compassion, your boldness. And yes, your courage to fail and rise again. Because what matters is not how much you have, but what you do with what you have. Some of you have knowledge. Some of you have wealth. Some of you have faith. Some of you have patience. Some of you have love, resilience, generosity, or the gift of listening. Whatever your gift is, ask yourself, what am I going to do with what I have? Let me leave you with this, my final thought about failure. Sometimes failure is not the end. It's a compass pointing you in a better direction. When I started college at Fordham University, I was a pre-med student. I enrolled in a class called cardiac morphogenesis, and I couldn't even pronounce it, let alone pass it. So I switched to pre-law, then journalism. I drifted through majors with no real purpose. Eventually, my GPA dropped to 1.8, and the university kindly suggested that I take a break. I was 20 years old, and I had hit rock bottom. Then one day, I was helping my mother at her beauty salon in Mount Vernon. An older woman, a stranger to me, kept watching me in the mirror. Finally, she took the dryer off her head, looked me in the eye, and said something I'll never forget. "Young man, I have a spiritual prophecy. One day you will travel the world and speak to millions of people." I didn't know what to make of it at the time, but over the years, that's exactly what happened. Through storytelling, through movies, I've reached millions. People I've never met, people who never saw me, but saw the message through the characters I played. But now, I see you, and I am filled with hope. Because taking a risk isn't just about chasing a job or chasing fame. It's about embracing who you are and being open to who you might become. It's about the people you meet, the values you carry, the faith you live by, and the courage you show when things fall apart. These are the things that will define your life. So don't be discouraged. Don't play small. Don't hold back. Give everything you've got. And when life knocks you down, and it will, don't fall back. Fall forward.